Attention all you OP Guardians of the Nation, your boy Sly here. What is going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you all a rare weapon review. Now, I don't do weapon reviews very often, but the more I ask you all what stuff you would like to see, weapon reviews are pretty much one of the dominating suggestions, along with a close second being how to make a YouTube video. So with such responses, your wish is my command, y'all, and here we are. A gun I found pretty much the day the April update came out, and I've been using it ever since, and I know you all see it in most of my videos. Here it is, the gorgeous Soulstealers Claw. Now, I know I kind of made a video showing this gun off before, but that video was pretty much all about House Judgment, and for the Soulstealers Claw, it was very incomplete. So I want to do this thing some justice this time around, but until recently, this archetype of high rate of fire, super low impact, was seen as an instant dismantle. However, with the past few updates slowly bringing auto rifles back into the game, these bullet hoses were patiently waiting in the back to be rediscovered, and as Trials players soon found out, these types of ARs are absolutely beast. The Soulstealers Claw shares this archetype with the infamous Doctrine of Passing, the Arminius D, and a few others. Rate of fire at a maxed out 100, impact of 2, this is the definition of a bullet hose. Now the range, it's got a decent one at 24, subpar stability though, but great reload speed at 66. While mainly known for its PvP use, this weapon doesn't do all that bad in PvE content. It can definitely hold its own, but right now, PvE is pretty much dominated by the scout rifle, and you simply can't beat it in time to kill. So in PvP, critical shots land at 15 while body does 12. Now that might not seem like much, but if you do the math, you only need roughly 15 bullets to take a Guardian down. 15 bullets at this speed is basically no time at all. Now in PvE, the numbers vary somewhat depending on your light, but in an endgame scenario, expect to pull off around 743 critical hits on a tier 1 enemy and 297 body. As for tier 1 majors, 357 crit and 286 body. As you can see, it does work pretty well in a PvE scenario, and I actually use it a lot. It breaks up the routine, you know, that pretty much plagued Destiny in year 1, and that was options. In year 1, it was either Fatebringer, Vision of Confluence, Icebreaker, and either Gallahorn or Hezen's Vengeance. The other, there were options out there, but if you wanted to blow through the stuff, that was the setup. And while it's not as bad in year 2, there are a handful of weapons that are pretty much the preferred go-to setup, and switching to something fun is always a good idea to avoid burnout. So let's move on to this weapon's characteristics. Now while it is a great weapon, especially in PvP, you need to have yours set up the right way or it's going to be a dismantle. And unfortunately, these high-firing weapons are bad about recoil and stability. Now while you may think the two are synonymous or the same, they are actually different. The best way to think about it is that recoil is how your gun behaves from the effects of the bullets, and ultimately the lower recoil, the tighter grouping, and that usually means less shots missed. Stability, generally speaking, is the barrel rise you get from shooting. Now this archetype of auto rifles usually suffer from both. However, the Soulstealer is not that bad in comparison to something like the Arminius D, which if you don't have any stability mods on it, it is indeed trash. So take a look at the Soulstealer without stability on it. It's wildly unpredictable, the grouping is not that great, and the only reliable way to get kills are when your enemy is fairly close, so it's not too hard to land the shots. However, if you back up just a bit, this becomes a huge problem. Now let's take a look at it with the perks turned on. You see the difference? Straight up and down, and with mine I have barrel rise, but I can deal with that because it's consistent. Getting your bullets to land in a straight line is what you want to shoot for. Now of course you don't want your gun to move at all with your bullets grouping into one hole, but with this type of ARs, that's pretty much a dream. Now here's mine again. As you can see, I got lucky, really lucky, and I have counterbalance as well as perfect balance. Add a little hand-laid stock to that, and boom, I love this weapon. Now, since this gun isn't as rowdy as something as like the Arminius D, I chose to go with hand-laid stock because I can deal with the recoil. But if these perks were on the Arminius D that sprays everywhere, then I would have went with perfect balance instead of hand-laid stock. So here are the possible perks that can roll on the Soulstealer. Then there are the passive perks that you can get as well. Now if we were to build a dream Soulstealer, there are two ways to go. Eat a little bit of stability and shoot for range, or simply stability all the way. Now since the Soulstealer has decent range already built in, stability all the way is the best way to go in my opinion. So that would be hand laid stock on the first row of perks, then counterbalance for your secondary. Now for the middle row, hammer forged all the way, because it not only gives you extra range, but also increased accuracy. And accuracy is basically the grouping of your bullets, and like I said earlier, tighter the grouping, that means less shots missed. Now I love glass half full with high firing large clip weapons, but in all reality, extra stability would suit you better in this case. Now of course we can't reroll weapons anymore, and you have to use what you get. So if you're looking for suggestions on how to improve it, get that stability as high as possible. Don't worry about range, because as you can see in this clip, even opponents outside the optimal range are an easy kill. Your bullets already do such little damage, so they can't take but 1 or 2 hit points away for a range penalty, or the gun would be pretty much unusable. With that in mind, that's why I suggest stability all the way. No matter what you get with the Soulstealer's Claw, as long as you have some type of stability perk included with it, you should be good to go. Now here is mine with all but one stability node active, and as you can see, it is a little more erratic, but nothing some practicing couldn't handle. Now if you're one of those players out there looking for an assault rifle in this archetype, but you can't get Varix to drop you one, and you've also had bad luck in the trials, there is somewhat of a secret left. Are you ready to hear it? It's called Atheon's Epilogue. It drops in the Vault of Glass fairly regularly, and take a look at the stats. You see that? It's pretty much identical to that of the Soulstealer. The best thing about the Epilogue is that it is by far the most stable auto rifle in this archetype. It didn't come back in year 2, but if you're looking for a gun to wreck shop with in normal Crucible, and one with better odds of dropping than getting it as a reward package from Varix or from a bounty in Trials, then the Vault of Glass is calling your name, my friends. But that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any good suggestions on what I should include in my future weapon reviews, I would be freaking glad to hear about it. Anything I missed, anything y'all would like to see covered that I didn't get in this one, let me know in the comments below, and I will be on it. I'm on it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. As always, you guys are freaking amazing. Thank you for backing up the smaller YouTuber. Now, if you want to stay on top of everything Destiny, The Division, and new uploads from Sly Nation, Twitter is the best place to do so. Follow at Sly Nation and stay up to date on everything upcoming in gaming, as well as new uploads from my channel. But I'm out, y'all. Don't forget, Reset is tonight. New loot awaits us all, and I'll be there greeting it in full force. Catch you all in my Reset Guide vid. That'll be up early in the morning, but until then, this is your boy Sly. Done. Gone. Outie.
Ammo inbound. Zone B secure.